Well, IT, that seems to be the one sector where all the news flow is happening. So let's welcome on board Umang Nahata, the Global CEO at Mastech Group, to talk about all the developments around the sector. Umang, hi, morning. Great to have you on ET now. Let's first talk about this proposed U.S. outsourcing tax and, of course, the tightened H-1B visa policies under the Trump administration. They're clearly creating a lot of contract delays and a lot of uncertainty beyond that for Indian IT firms, right? Tell me, what are the most pressing risks, according to you, that these pose to your US-centric revenue streams?
I mean, these are definitely events which are clearly causing uncertainty in the mind of customers as well as uncertainty in the sector right now. But I believe these are more short-term, transactional or political negotiations more than anything else. So that's where we are. But yeah, there is a short-term uncertainty in terms of customers, therefore, shifting right their decision making. That is definitely an impact. Having said that, if you look at our business, it is actually very well diversified between UK, Europe, APAC, Middle East, and US. While US is still a 25% plus business, it's not the biggest piece for us. And also within US, the on-site component and the H-1B related component is fairly small. It's only like less than 100 people that we have who are H-1B resources on-site in the US. So currently that impact is insignificant in our business. But in general, the broader outlook and growth for US in terms of the macro sentiments is definitely a challenge.
Okay, so that's the take coming in. But, I was recently reading some comments from you, Umang, wherein you were talking about how your revenue is diversified between UK, Europe, as well as US and the rest of the world. And US makes up 27% of your revenue contribution, at least it did in FY25. Help us understand, at what pace are your other geographical segments working? Is it enough to mitigate the impact that we're seeing on the US front?
Yeah, from where we see this, I think especially our UK Europe business continues to see good momentum across all sectors. The directional investment from the government, especially in healthcare in UK, the demand continues to be high, and there is already committed budget that the government is looking to spend. So we see good traction in our UK Europe market. Like I said, UK Europe is more than 50%, 55% plus of our business. So currently, we feel that the UK Europe business growth, as well as we don't see also US, we think we are bottomed out. We're not seeing any further degrowth, but the speed of acceleration is going to be a little slow, which is what we had commented last time also. But if you put the two together, I think we are in a decent place. We'll still grow, but not as fast as what we were anticipating earlier.
The other thing, of course, is also right among this entire GCC opportunity, which everyone's sort of, so excited about. Now, I know in terms of the numbers out there, India is on track to host over 2,400 GCCs by 2030, and which is, I guess, 70% of the global innovation, right? But in what way is Mastech leveraging onto this GCC boom? And do you think that's also going to be a derivative of the heightened clamp down on IT services and the onshore jobs in the US?
Yeah, I mean, GCC and offshoring in general is going to clearly, boom up or go increase, not just because of the H-1B, but in general with the overall work environment becoming more digital, with AI coming into play, and therefore a combination of human and agents delivering a lot of solutions and services. I think the GCC business or offshoring and outsourcing to India will continue to increase, although we still have the Hire Act. That is one other discussion to be had. But from where I see is, I think the offshoring, outsourcing to India will continue to increase. We have a lot of our, amongst the top 10 customers that we have in US, have a significant setup of GCCs in India, and we are seeing good continuous demand from them, especially in their GCC or offshore centers, and we think that that demand is going to continue to outgrow the rest of the base.
And let's talk about your financials, the pace at which you're expecting to grow. You've spoken about the goal to double your business in the next 3 to 4 years. Help us understand what are going to be some key levers, key thrust areas that you're going to be focusing on, and also the split or the mix you would have between inorganic and organic growth.
Yeah, I think it's our ambition to clearly grow the business phenomenally over the next 3 to 4 years. We think the market, especially with the AI wave as it builds, it's a really great opportunity for companies like us. As you see, our current digital revenue, especially our digital revenue in the US, is not as high. The way I see the AI wave, it's in 2-3 parts. The first part is which is all around productivity gains and which we call AI for technology, productivity in development, in testing, in managed services, and so on and so forth. And to really, win confidence of our clients, we will have to deliver a tangible, measurable ROI. That would mean that you will have to actually step back and demonstrate some improvement in the current book of business that you have with your clients. As Mastech, we are already taking that very aggressive view of proactively going and demonstrating savings in the current orders that we have with our clients already, which we think is the right way of creating opportunity or the right for asking for much more business. So if I balance the two, our current book of business is small, but even in the smaller book of business, we are demonstrating that kind of saving with our US customers. And that will allow and is already creating an opportunity for much more larger deals for us. I think this wave will clearly disrupt the ways of working, and any kind of disruption or ripple effects in the water is what is required for companies like us to really grow and build. Because if market is steady, it's hard to displace your incumbents. But when there is disruption, that's when the opportunities really pick up. I think given our current capability stack, given our presence in the geography, it will be an important wave for us. And we are taking very, very aggressive moves, both in terms of capability as well as commercial outlook for delivering ROI to our clients, and hence creating the right and opportunity to significantly grow and expand our business. Also, being geographically diversified continues to be a key part of our strategy. I think our focus and brand presence that we have in UK, Europe continues to be a phenomenal strength, and we would want to continue to have UK, Europe as a key market. We are continuing to invest there, while of course US is biggest play, and therefore highest growth expectation is from US. But overall, the geographical diversification is going to be key.
Sure, I get that. But Umang, just taking a leaf from Accenture's commentary last evening, is there still concern around, client spends or discretionary spends? And more importantly, is client onboarding converting to billings just yet?
So, I think to a degree, in the short term, I definitely feel that the client's decision making is shifting towards right, while the opportunities are there, but the decision making is shifting right. Or if they have to make a decision for like multi-year, they're still making a decision for a shorter duration and waiting and watching the full impact. Having said that, the clients are proactively asking, and especially to the larger IT firms, asking for significant savings or efficiency gains based on AI on their install base, which I think is the area that is creating opportunities for big to small size companies like us to go out and really demonstrate savings on that estate, and hence create the right for winning not just on discretionary but even on the core spend business, which is currently largely distributed with the larger IT services companies, especially in the US.
For taking the time out and speaking with us and sharing your growth outlook with us. Really appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, on that note, we'll slip into a very short break.